de março de 2021. E como você sabe, na América, primeiro o mês e depois o dia 3/21 é o dia de se lembrar e de honrar Robert Ozzie Osband. Ele estava sempre no Titusville Park narrando, informando todas as pessoas ao redor do mundo como observar um lançamento de foguete. E eu entrevistei Mark Marquette, do American Space Museum, responsável pela celebração dessa data, para nos mostrar o quão importante honrar pessoas como Ozzie Osband.
He is my friend, Mark Marquette. He's living here in Spaceport. He is in charge for the American Space Museum. Mark, how long Ozzie was here doing his extra job and making arrangements for people to see the rock collection? Well, Eduardo, Ozzie did it for probably over 30 years. In the space shuttle era, he would come out here and sit in his lawn chair. And back then, there was Radio Shack and things like that you get a receiver. He was a ham radio operator. So to get the signal of the launch countdown was complicated back in the 1990s when he started this. And then later, of course, he used his phone with the countdowns that everybody uses. Yeah, but we've done it for over 3 decades, Eduardo. Really nice. And why it's so important for American culture to honor people like that? So I see you doing in January, you can remember the Space Heroes and 10. So tell me about this. Well, we're the first of the American space then here at Titusville. We really are. A lot of people that work at Cape Kennedy and Cape Canaveral live here, raise their children here. And now the new companies literally sit on the shoulders of these old companies. So for Ozzie to come out here to create an awareness of not only the countdown, but he talked about the mission, let them know what was on the rocket that was out there, whether it was people or satellites. And it was, he was quite a character. Now, if you went to a rocket launch out here, from the middle of America, in Michigan, you would go home and the kids would be saying, "What a great rocket launch!" And yeah, remember that crazy looking guy with the long white hair that did the countdown, and he was off. Rarely was it 3, 2, 1, and it lifted off. Sometimes it lifted off at 3, and sometimes after he did 3, 2, 1. But bless his heart, then he drives a tip jar and go out there. He's been getting a bucket too. And but the point of maintaining this visibility in our space program is part of the fabric of America as we celebrate our 250th anniversary of America. And what more fantastic thing can America be proud of in that 250 years? And Ozzie, one of the people, like myself, in our beautiful museum, that want to keep the memories alive to inspire the next generation. Tell me more about the American Space Museum, because I want to make museum people who live here in Florida, United States, Brazil, to know more about you. All right, you go to a regular space museum, you're going to see spacesuits with astronauts, you're going to see astronaut helmets, you're going to see gloves the astronaut wore, stuff like that. We're not so much about astronauts, we're about the space workers that kept the satellites and the astronauts alive. So you're going to see John Glenn's hard hat that he wore when he's at the Cape, and the button pushy rocket. We're going to see a whole room full of control dial button stuff that launched the rocket, that fueled them, and so forth. We've got so many one-of-a-kind things, like the model of the shuttle that was used by the President Nixon administration, to show people what they were talking about. You just couldn't flip on a movie back in the day. Here, I'm going to show you some models, what we're talking about. So we have things like that, but we have a gallery that's dedicated to every woman who's flown in space. 644 women, 644 people flown in space, but 84 of those personally have been women. and we have a room that has every one of them on the wall. We have Nicole Scott's sleepy bag left it on the space station. Things like that that make us a unique kind of space base. We're intimate, we're close, and we're a proud nonprofit that uh, we know our lane. We're all about space worker and manual, things like that.
Eu também tive a oportunidade de conhecer de perto o stand da National Space Society. Estavam ali fazendo um experimento, lançando foguetes com antiácido, Alka-Seltzer, e eu também tive a oportunidade de conhecer o Butch Dick, que é o presidente da National Space Society.
Here I have my new friend, Mr. Butch. He is the director for National Space Society. Actually, I am a member from. I encourage you to be a member also. Hey, please, tell me about National Space Society. Sure, Carter. Well, the National Space Society, or the NSS, we are a space advocacy organization. So we promote the space agenda. And we have three main functions. One is the advocacy. So we actually go to Washington, D.C., we meet with senators, Congress members to promote the space agenda, try to get legislation, try to get them to act on things that will help us become a spacefaring civilization. Along with that, we do education. If we have a spacefaring civilization, we need a talented workforce. So what we try to do is encourage students to choose space as a career. So we have something called Space Edge Academy. And what we do is we give resources to teachers to bring space into the classroom. And we also have contests and competitions for the students to get involved themselves. And the last piece we do is awareness. The general public, our members, keeping them informed about what is happening in space. As the Astro magazine is our award-winning publication, published 4 times a year. And we do the International Space Development Conference, the ISEC, which is an annual conference. We've been doing it for 44 years now. And this year it's going to be in Washington, D.C. area. Tell me, how much would be a membership? And what are the benefits to be a membership? Have this wonderful card. Sure. Well, we have different ranges of membership. So we have one that's called regular membership. It's just anybody could join. So that is regularly $62 a year. Then we have senior membership. If you're over 65, it's $51 a year. And then we have student teacher membership for $40 a year. So the benefits are numerous. Again, you'll get the Ad Astra magazine, which is published 4 times a year. You get a special discount. You come to the International Space Development Conference. We run periodic webinars online. Then we have astronauts and other speakers talking about space, so you're invited to those. We do a bi-monthly electronic newsletter. You also can get involved and volunteer with NSS. And we have a number of discounts at different space-related organizations. So it's a great organization if you want to just inform. If you want to get more active and more involved, you can actually come to our conference. You can actually post on our blog, things like that. So it's what members want to do and what they're looking for.
Eu aproveitei para encerrar a minha entrevista com chave de ouro, falando sobre o lançamento da Artemis 2 e perguntando para o meu amigo Marco, que é um dos curadores deste parque, desta pracinha, sobre a questão de algumas pessoas vendendo ingressos ou cobrando para estarem em Titusville vendo o lançamento de foguetes, ou especialmente da Artemis 2, custando até, pasmem vocês, a quantia de $500. Vamos ver então o que Mark Marquette, que é o curador do Museu de Espaço Americano aqui em Titusville, nos fala sobre lançamentos de foguetes, como se ver e quanto custa para você ver um lançamento em Titusville.
There's someone trying to sell it for $100 for people coming here to see our 10 lunch. This is a place for free, right? Yeah, no, this is free. All right. There have been efforts to have parking sold here. In fact, our museum charged for parking legally to make money. But no, there are so many places up and down the Space Coast free, Eduardo. You know that. And Titusville has a lot of little parks on the Indian River that we're just 10 miles away from you and me looking at the Artemis rocket right there that we're looking at. We're just 10 miles away from it. And you can go over that beautiful bridge, go see it today. Yeah. You have it on schedule for April 1st. Yes, the museum will be open. We will probably broadcast live out here with we do a video podcast, Eduardo, like you do, called Stay Curious on the American Space Museum YouTube channel. And we'll be doing a live broadcast. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate your YouTube. And we have many Brazilian friends, and we really enjoy the Brazilian enthusiasm for STEAM education. It's like none other on the planet, I think. So you're doing a good job. Thank you. I appreciate it. You're welcome. Thank you.